Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus. My name is Kara Shirley, and I'm your digital news desk host. And you are tuning in from the brand new WLBT Plus studio. We are in a bigger, brighter room, and we're going to be able to offer a lot more to you guys by having this new studio. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I see some of you joining in. Oh, Danielle here on Facebook. She says, we miss you, Kara. Thank you so much. I know I was out all week. Well, I wasn't out. The show wasn't on all week last week because we were getting the new studio ready, getting it going for you guys, and just excited to be here. I'm excited to be back with you all, talk to you all, and let you know what is happening here in the Jackson metro area and surrounding areas as well. But I do appreciate all of you tuning in. Yes, Danielle says, yep, nice room. We got light now. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to, if you're watching on YouTube, or actually we're on Twitch now as well, so you can tune in there, but catch us on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, always our website, WLBT.com, and our news app, the WLBT3 news app. So make sure you download the app, you tune in on our website, and of course, the First Alert Weather app, which our weather team will be in later to talk to you about what's happening in the forecast. I know we're taking a look at the tropics, really paying attention to what is going on out there, because there's talks of another storm brewing up down there in the Gulf, and our meteorologists are the ones, perfect ones actually, to give you that information. But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It has been a crazy week. Last week was a crazy week. The week before last was a crazy week. And then so far this week is looking to be just as crazy as it has been. Full steam ahead. Life is going pretty quick. So normally I would take a look outside right now, but new studio, we're still working out some bugs and some kinks, but what I can do is show you outside right behind me. So we're looking out over downtown Jackson right here, and it is looking to be a beautiful day. Looking at our forecast over here that's on the wall over here, you'll see all of this. I know this sounds weird, but I promise you'll see all of this. But we are looking for a next few days, going to be really nice for us. So let's go ahead and tune into, or turn to, the news rather. Before we do that, though, let me thank rather Jackson Water. They are the title sponsor here for WLBT Plus, and for our digital news desk. We certainly appreciate them for sponsoring us and helping us to bring you guys the news in as many ways as we can. Let's go ahead now, and we're going to talk about a situation that happened on I-55. And this, here we go. My goodness. Let me turn my volume down. Actually, let me come right back to me. I'm telling you guys, we're working out some bugs, so be patient with us, all right? But so on I-55, unfortunately, a very sad situation happened this morning, and yesterday. There was a pedestrian that was hit on I-55, and this was near Elton Road. So Jackson police are investigating the death of the individual, the male that was hit by a car on I-55. So it happened just before 7 o'clock last night. It was near Elton Road in South Jackson. They say the 28-year-old victim was walking on Frontage Road when he was hit by a Elantra. The driver of the car that hit him did stay with him. They remained at the scene, and they also spoke with the officers when they arrived. The victim's name has not yet been released, but we will update you when we get that information. Additionally, a short time after that accident happened, another person was hit on the interstate, which is very surprising. You think one person, but two people getting hit on I-55 in two separate incidents. It's a very surprising thing. But this person was hit on the interstate, and Ridgeland Police Chief Brian Meyer says the victim was hit while he was walking along the highway near County Line Road. The driver of that vehicle also stopped, called 911. The victim was taken to the hospital with what is being told as non-life-threatening injuries. We don't know the status of them right now, but we will get that information for you and pass that along to you. Now, still here in Jackson, we have a couple of teenagers who was arrested after police say they fired shots into cars on South Jackson, or in South Jackson, rather. So, JPD is saying that it happened Saturday on the I-55 frontage road near Daniel Lake Boulevard. Officers say that two vehicles were shot into. Thankfully, though, no one was hurt. The suspected shooters drove away in a white SUV. Well, police soon found that SUV and arrested a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old. They now face multiple charges, including aggravated assault. Thankfully, though, no one was injured with those shots being fired. We got Keith here. Keith is our operations manager here, and he says if they only knew the amount of sweat it took in this room, and there was a lot of sweat going on in this room with everybody that has was a part of getting all of this together. We have a great team here at WLBT and WLBT Plus, and I'm very thankful for all the hard work all of them have put in. Now something happened on I-20, since we're talking all about a lot of things that happen on the interstate, pedestrians getting hit. Well, on I-20 near Bolton, a log truck caught on fire. This happened this morning, and let's take a look at this here. So here you can see the videos of the truck burning. Crews were working very hard to get the fire out. It happened on the westbound lane headed towards Vicksburg. So this is, of course, what it looked like earlier this morning. At that point, both of the lanes were blocked during this. There's no word right now on what caused the fire with the timber, but that is crazy. It's a very large log fire. It's not a great time to have a bonfire, especially not on the interstate, but we're thankful that no one was hurt. Again, that happened on the westbound lanes of I-20 just before the Bolton exit. We heard yesterday about here in Hinds County, the Hinds County coroner, Sharon Grisham. She announced yesterday that she is going to be retiring after 25 years. So this move comes months after the Three on Your Side investigation revealed that she failed to notify several family members when their loved ones had passed away, resulting in their burial in a pauper's cemetery. She was first elected to this post in 1999, and she started serving as the coroner in the year 2000. Grissom Stewart says she now wants to spend more time with her family and pursue new personal and professional opportunities. She also says that she wants to thank her staff, saying in part, this role has been both challenging and rewarding, and I am proud of the work that we have accomplished together. So she will be retiring. Now, talking about a Pearl River man who has pled guilty to possession of more than 15 grams of meth with the intent to distribute in the Pearl River community of the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians. So here is the guy right here. It's 37-year-old Bill Clemens Jr. He was indicted by a federal grand jury in January for possession with intent to distribute meth. Clemens is scheduled to be sentenced on January the 14th of 2025, and he now faces a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison. So that's some of the first little bit of news that we have there for you. What we want to do real quick is let you hear from our sponsor, Jackson Water. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Time for a neighborly tip from Jackson Water. Is it okay to pour fats, oils, and greases down the drain if I run hot water?
No!
What if I run the garbage disposal?
No!
How about if I use dish soap at the same time?
No!
Instead, hang on to a few containers to store and toss old cooking fat and grease once you're done. Jackson Water. Water for all the time.
Again, thank you so much to Jackson Water for sponsoring the Digital News Desk. Now we're turning to some news here in Jackson, where the deadline for Smith Wills to be turned over to the state has happened. So the battle between the city and the state for ownership of the Smith Wills Stadium continues. So Monday was the deadline for the city to submit a quit claim deed, basically handing over ownership, but that did not happen. So city attorneys filed a suit in the Hinds County Chancery Court on Friday to block the state's effort to reclaim the property. A little over 2 weeks ago, Mississippi Attorney General's office sent a letter to the city claiming that the city violated the terms of the deed by not using the property for park purposes. City claims the property is used as a sports academy, a baseball field for Jackson Public Schools, and a public park. However, lawmakers say the lease was violated when Churchill Smoke Shop moved into that property. We've been following this. We're going to continue to follow this, let you guys know what happens with this. Is the city going to turn over? They're going to do that quit claim deed or not? We'll follow along with this and we'll update you as information comes into us. You guys see our pet wasp behind us. He hangs out on our cameras. We call him three on your side. I don't know. I just saw him flying around back there, but we do have a wasp up there. So if you go climb the cameras, don't. Actually, just don't. Okay. Now, tomorrow in Ward 2 here in Jackson, there is going to be a special election. You've probably heard about the Ward 2 seat becoming vacant after Angelique Lee resigned several weeks ago. Well, tomorrow is when Ward 2 here in Jackson gets to go out and vote on who they want to fill that spot. So 6 candidates will be on the ballot to fill the seat vacated by Angelique Lee. Candidates participated in a forum last week, and you can hear them here or see them here in that forum. The polls are going to be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And here are some of the names that you will see on that ballot. So we have Marcus Cheatham, Montaigne Tina Clay, Celestial Gordon Griffin. We also have Cheryl Matori, Brian Mose, and Catherine Robinson. So if no one gets more than 50% of the vote, the race will go to a runoff. And we will, of course, have the results of that here on WLBT and on our website, WLBT.com. So going now, the Hurricane Helene, at first we thought, could it possibly come our way? And it didn't. Thankfully, it didn't because of all of the damage that it has caused over in Georgia, Florida, and especially in North Carolina. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, but all the roads that were going into Asheville were blocked, were either flooded, roads got washed out. It absolutely devastated Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina. Over 100 people have passed away from this storm. Well, here in Mississippi, we have a lot of linemen that are lending a helping hand by working to restore power to those that were impacted by the storm. Friday, more than 200 linemen were sent to Tallahassee, and we're told crews restored power in that area. So Dixie Electric, Southern Pine, and Pearl River Valley also sent some teams. And some linemen also plan to head to other locations in Florida to try and help out.
They're seeing a lot of difficult, areas, probably having to go through swamps, having to go through a lot of the wooded areas over there. And, with the amount of destruction that we've seen just in video and pictures from that area, I'm sure it's probably difficult to navigate.
And I'm really proud of our linemen because, yes, it is a job, but it's also a calling to do what they do and to restore that power. I know it brings a little bit of hope.
Very thankful for those linemen that run out there, leave their family behind just to make sure that everybody can get power and electricity that they so desperately need. So linemen are going to be working, more than likely going to be working through the rest of next week. And they say that remaining safe is, of course, their top priority. We are very thankful for all of them. If you are looking for a way to help those with the hurricane and Hurricane Helene, WLBT's parent company, Gray Media, is helping to raise money for the Salvation Army, which is set to provide emergency aid, food, drinks, emotional and spiritual care, and long-term recovery services to survivors and rescue workers. You can contribute by scanning this QR code right here on your screen, and it's going to take you directly to the donation site where you can find out more information. But yeah, if you want to join us in supporting those that are in the path, that were in the path of Hurricane Helene, please go and donate today. And you guys have probably heard about the strike that is happening for port workers. It began overnight. Dock workers at ports from Maine to Texas are on strike. So members of ILA, it's the International Longshore Association, began walking off the job late last night. 36 ports along the East and Gulf Coast have now been shut down, and the strike involves 45,000, that is a huge strike, but 45,000 union workers who left the job after labor negotiations stalled between ILA and the U.S. Maritime Alliance. So this strike is the first at these ports since 1977 and has the potential to cost the economy up to $5 billion a day. Unfortunately, if this is not resolved quickly, holiday shopping could be affected. And according to experts, some could start feeling the impacts of this within days. The longshoremen are asking for more pay and less automation. Less automation meaning don't have machines come in and replace their job. Less automation. Let's let people who can work do the work and not let machines or computers or things like that do it. But that is what they're looking for. And of course, we're going to continue to follow it, especially following it to see, is there going to be any effects here in our area? How quickly will we experience those effects? If we do, what could we see around here? And how can we here in the central Mississippi start to prepare for this and hopefully limit the impact of what it has on us here? We're going to be following that. We're looking into those stories, those information, to give that information to you. So continue to keep it here with WLBT. Yesterday, FBI had a press conference and we were there. They're going to be working to make sure that we have a fair, free, and secure presidential election next month. Next month. That is crazy that it is already here. But it is. So there are several ways that you can report complaints and possible violations. In addition to the Justice Department's hotline, you can submit complaints online. You see, you can submit complaints online. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get used to my new space here. But Assistant U.S. Attorney will serve as the district election officer responsible for overseeing potential election crimes. The DOJ is encouraging anyone with information on election issues to report them.
Well, an enormous amount of effort goes into making sure that elections here in Mississippi and all throughout the nation are fair, free, and secure. And we can expect that it will be the same this election cycle, but the Department of Justice, the FBI, and our partners at the Department of Homeland Security, local, state, and federal governments are working very hard to ensure that happens.
So another way to report any concerns is by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI. Election day is Tuesday, November the 5th, 5 weeks from today. Wow, 5 weeks. I need to make sure that my registration is up to date for Rankin County since I'm here now. Looking here at our stream, we have Danielle saying that strike is about to mess us up bad. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hopefully it can be resolved before that happens. But also, I want to remind you, don't believe everything that you were reading out there on social media, posts or anything that people have been that has not been vetted or verified, things like that. It's because there can be a lot of posts out there that can cause fear and panic. And so just don't believe everything you hear and or read. And we're going to find the best answers for you guys and give those to you. Catherine Brown tuning in all the way from San Diego. Hello, Miss Catherine. Thank you for tuning in. So she is praying for the states affected by the storms and the families who lost loved ones. Yes, I mean, over 100 people passed away in Hurricane Helene. It is devastating. It is absolutely devastating. They haven't come up with a number yet, of course, because it's too soon to find out the financial impact of the devastation that is there. But again, we're following it. We're going to keep you guys updated on all of that. Now, you have heard about Brett Favre, the defamation lawsuit, all of the things that are happening, especially with the state auditor, Shad White. Well, now Brett Favre is wanting to expand his defamation lawsuit against the state auditor, Shad White. So, according to the Associated Press, Favre is trying to include the book that he just released, state auditor just released, and he wrote about the misspending of welfare money that was meant to help some of the poorest people in the nation. Well, Favre believes that the title and the contents of his book are defamatory. The book, Mississippi Swindle, Brett Favre, and the Welfare Scandal That Shocked America, was published in August. White has said that he is paying his own legal bills in the defamation case. He also adds that Favre's frivolous lawsuit has cost him and his family thousands of dollars personally, but he says he is not going to back down from telling the truth. Favre, in all of this, is not facing any criminal charges. Back over here, looking at our stream right here. Eric Shirley says the new studio looks great. I know this guy. That happens to be my husband. You gotta love the support of your spouses, right? Thanks, honey. I appreciate that. And this new studio does look great. Our guys here have worked very hard to get this up and going. Let's turn to some good news, some exciting news that has happened for one Brandon native. He has made his way onto The Voice. Here, let's look at some of his performance last night.
I thought you should know that all those prayers you thought you wasted on me.
Boom, boom, boom. All of four of them turning around. The last time I remember, and I know there's been other 4-chair turns since then, but I remember when Todd, oh my goodness, his the name just left my head, but he is from Meridian and he was on The Voice. He won The Voice back in 2020. And I remember him getting those 4 turns. I know when I talked to him about that, he said how crazy and exciting of a moment that is to see all 4 of those chairs turn around. He's got a great voice though, but his name is Tanner Frick. He now lives up in Manchester, Tennessee. So he got all 4 coaches to turn their chairs, which of course is that big deal on The Voice. He ended up selecting Reba because Reba, right? But he did end up selecting Reba to be his coach. He credits his family for helping him to get this far in this competition. So love that for him. We're going to continue to watch, support him, support the Mississippians that make it on to the big stage there. Love that. Love that. Mike Magazine here says, "Hey, Kara from Greenville. Hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're watching from I'm coming to you from our new studio, our new WLBT Plus Digital News Desk studio. But hi, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. Now, we all know that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and tomorrow you get to help us in showing our support for breast cancer awareness and raising funds for that. And tomorrow, a lot of people, you're going to see us wearing pink as Power of Pink Day to promote the breast cancer awareness. So you can share photos of yourself and others in their pink with the WLBT. You can submit them online by going to WLBT.com/Power of Pink. And your pics just might get featured during one of our live newscasts tomorrow, even right here on WLBT Plus. Well, guys, that is up. Oh, I see the mic saying October 1st, try some pumpkin spice today. I'm not a fan of pumpkin spice. Does that make me wrong? But I'm not a big fan of pumpkin spice. I do like apple cinnamon though, so that could be a fall flavor, right? Hopefully so. But yeah, all right. I'll be back tomorrow at 1:00, and hopefully we'll have a little of some of our bugs worked out, be a little more smooth for you guys here. But I do appreciate all of you tuning in. Come back tomorrow at 1. Have a great day, and I will see y'all tomorrow.